Why, hello, child. It's wonderful you could join me. Oh, my. I have a special task for you. You must follow the same path as Pocahontas to save John Smith and prevent a conflict. I know you can do it. I sense a strong spirit in you. Are you ready? All right, let's begin. As you know, Pocahontas was the daughter of Chief Powhatan. Can you find him for me now? Yes, Chief Powhatan, a very wise man who was greatly respected by his people and who had great respect for the land and animals. An Indian chief had many responsibilities, such as providing food, water, and shelter for his tribe. He also had to see that his daughter chose a suitable husband. Chief Powhatan wanted Pocahontas to marry one of his bravest warriors named Kocoum. Find Kocoum now. That's correct. Kocoum was a fearless Indian. He led the tribe to many victories and was a hero within the village. But he was such a serious soul. He hardly ever smiled. Not at all right for Pocahontas, especially when her name means little wanton or playful, frolicsome girl. Pocahontas knew she couldn't follow her father's wishes, so she sought the sage advice of an old friend. Do you remember who she asked for help? That's right, my child. Her old friend, Grandmother Willow. Pocahontas often came to me for guidance, just like her mother did before her. Oh, how I loved the company. Most Indians believed that the land was filled with spirits. Some Indians even talked to them. And it's believed that sometimes the spirits talked back. Pocahontas was very spiritual. That day, I reminded her to listen with her heart, and it spoke to her about clouds, strange clouds. Do you remember what those were? Of course, those clouds turned out to be the sails to a great ship, one that carried colonists from England to America in 1607, nearly 400 years ago. It took more than 4 months to cross the ocean, and more storms than I can count. When the ship arrived that day on the shores of Virginia, it brought the brave explorer John Smith to the New World. Pocahontas may not have been interested in Kocoum, but her heart pounded like a beating drum for Smith. Of course, their first meeting almost ended in disaster. Find it now. That's right. My bark shivers to think what might have happened that day. But Smith was a kind soul, and handsome too. He would never hurt Pocahontas or her people, especially after she opened his eyes to the beauty of the land she lived in. Why, Smith saw the forest, the meadow, and the animals in a way he never knew before. But others would not see Virginia this way. Unfortunately, there were some who would do anything to take the land away from the Indians. One was Governor Ratcliffe. Oh, his name boils my sap. Find him now. Yes, Ratcliffe was after one thing: gold. He planned to dig up the land and return to England with a whole shipful. That would make him very rich and the king very happy. But Virginia had no gold. Ratcliffe had brought his men all that way for nothing. They could hardly load up Virginia's sparkling rivers and abundant wildlife aboard their ship. Speaking of wildlife, that reminds me of a rascal of a raccoon named Miko. I think you know him. Find him now. Excellent! As you may know, most raccoons have a diet of berries and nuts, but leave it to Miko to find a new favorite food, biscuits. Of course, every food is Miko's favorite. He's a bottomless pit if ever there was one. The biscuits he loved so much belonged to John Smith. And shortly later, Smith was captured by the Indians. War was imminent. What path would Pocahontas take? Something from her dream guided her to the right choice. Do you remember what it was? That's right, John Smith's compass, the spinning arrow she dreamed of. But what did it mean? Was Smith to the north, south, east, west? Suddenly, her destiny was clear. She knew the path she should follow. But time was running out. The drums were signaling war. Pocahontas would have to hurry. What did she do to save John Smith? You are wise. It was the bravest thing Pocahontas had ever done. There would be no fighting that day. Everyone was moved by her brave act and her commitment to peace. I was so proud. And I'm very proud of you for following your heart, too. Remember, the right path isn't always the easiest, but it's always the best one.